Hey everybody, welcome right back to the channel. Welcome right back to the channel. This weekend's been really fun. Really fun when it comes to NBA and men's college basketball. There's been a lot of breaking news too throughout the day, especially in NFL, right? But before we get into everything like that, welcome back. My name's Isaiah Austin. Welcome back to the IDA Kings Video Production channel. If you like the videos, hit the like button on the videos. Okay. If you like the channel, hit the subscribe button. And if you want to know when I post and upload new videos, hit that bell notification. Do me a solid, and do that for me. Appreciate y'all, man. Appreciate the support. Now, here's the thing, getting into it. Okay, the Texans traded for running back Montgomery. He asked for, I heard allegedly he asked for a trade. Also heard that he didn't ask for a trade. But either way, they traded him. He was getting less carries. And he deserved more carries, just like Gibbs and stuff. So I believe he'll get the carries with the Texans. The Chiefs cut Taylor, I believe guard or tackle for the Chiefs. But they do save 20 million cap space. I believe they'll be below the cap, not above it. So they'll have some cap room flexibility. Um, the Commanders did release Lattimore, and then also Young. He makes his debut Thursday versus the Jazz. Trae Young for the Wizards. Um, um, you know, also, Duke is now number one in the AP poll for a record of 149th time. They're the number one team in the country. They've been great all year in college basketball. The Buffs had a quarterback, not Shador, but they had a quarterback. Colorado had a quarterback who passed away, I believe, yesterday, if I'm not mistaken. I think it was in a car crash, if I'm not mistaken. They just put that out. Ponder, yeah, they put that out. Um, they told that today, I think. Today, yeah, they posted that today. I think yesterday when they talked about it. Um, they didn't tell what was going on and stuff like that with it. But yeah, he passed away. I think in a car crash, I think, or something like that. Um, but overall, that was some of the big news today. Miami of Ohio, the basketball team, they've been great all year. The AD didn't like Pearl and what he said about them, saying that they would be dead last in a few conferences and stuff like that. I think it was one of the conferences he said they would be dead last in the Big 12, if I'm not mistaken, or something like that. But overall, it was he didn't like that at all. And I understand it. I mean, to me, I think it's crazy him saying that, but you know, um, and it's funny because he's the same coach, Bruce Pearl, same coach who left Auburn like a month or two before the season started, and basically put him in a bad situation anyway. So that was kind of odd and kind of weird. Um, but that's the crazy part. Him saying that, but then talking about Miami of Ohio, they're a great basketball team. They're really good, and I think they can win in the tournament. I don't know if they'll win a national championship, but they can win, and they'll show a lot of teams. I think they'll show teams how good they are. I've watched a few of their games; they're really good, really good. So and the MAC is not a bad conference either. Akron's good, Kent State's good. They got some good teams in that conference too. So I think they'll be ready to go, and they'll be ready to go. But getting into the NBA though, the NBA has been great, right? Like all year. This weekend has been real fun. Okay, weekend's been real fun. The Hornets have been a really good team, surging. They've been really putting in a lot of work, doing a lot of great things. Um, they won against the Trailblazers 109-93. The Trailblazers have been solid throughout the year too. Did way better than people expected. But they did lose 109-93 to the Hornets, who have been really good this year so far. The Heat have beaten the Rockets on that Saturday. This is all Saturday, by the way. The Heat beat the Rockets by 10. Heat needed that win bad. And then the Raptors ended up beating the Wizards on Saturday as well, 134-125. The Lakers got back on track. The Lakers did a great job. Got back on track, did a lot of great stuff. Dominated the Warriors, starting that first half. Did a lot of great stuff. Really starting that first quarter. It was like 36-18. They were great defensively. They did a lot of great stuff. The Warriors did have injuries. Draymond Green did play, but Steph Curry didn't play. But I think they're trying to get healthy and try to get down to the home stretch. I think as long as they stay in that AC, I think they have a good shot because, you know, I don't know, even with Steph Curry come back, I don't know if they beat the Suns, right? Or it could be Suns or whoever, right? Because it's not that far off. I mean, the Suns are like 3 games behind the third seed, if I'm not mistaken. I believe they're 3 games behind the third seed, maybe 4 games, somewhere in that area, right? The Lakers are about 2 games behind the third, and I think it goes on and on from there. If I'm not mistaken, 2 to 3. So so it could be anybody in that 7th seed. They're all trying to stay away from that 7th seed, including the Suns. But whoever is in that 7th seed, um, you know, whoever's in that 7th seed, they got, I think they can win it against the Warriors because the Warriors are dealing with health issues. They don't have as many great players, but they do have some solid role players, shooters and stuff. But it's just gonna be hard to beat any of those teams like Houston, Timberwolves, Nuggets, Lakers. It's gonna be hard to do that. It's just gonna be tough. So the Warriors, but they could win the next game against either the Clippers or whoever that whoever that 9th, 10th seed is, Trailblazers, whoever. They have a shot to beat them though, but we'll see. We'll see how it goes. And then the Pelicans end up beating the Jazz 115 to 105 too. Zion has been playing well. I think he played like 3 or 4 straight games. And I think that's in jeopardy though. I think after the Clipper game, I think he got injured, if I'm not mistaken. But Sunday overall was real fun too. Saturday was fun. This one was real fun. The Knicks ended up starting out slow against the Spurs, right? It was like a 19-9 run, 29, something like that. But let me tell you something. The Knicks start dominating after that. Okay, or it's 21-9, 21-10, something like that. But they dominate after that. I mean, they cooked. This was in the first quarter, but then the Knicks start dominating, and then they controlled the game from there, only allowing 89 points in the game. Great defense they played, 114 to 89. The Cavs were in a close battle with that Nets team, man. Michael Porter Jr. is a real great player since being traded, shooting the lights out the ball. But the Cavs end up pulling away, getting the win 106 to 102. Big game. Let me tell you something. This Bulls and Bucks game was really wild. I heard it was wild. Unbelievable. Going into the third, it was like 11 minutes and 12 seconds left. They were up by 16 points. They ended up losing the game 120 to 97. They went on a 27-0 run in the second half. It was a 21-0 run to start the fourth quarter. The Bulls went on. It was unbelievable. The Bucks choked horrendously bad to the point where they end up basically losing by 23 points. That is unacceptable and unbelievable what the Bucks did. Just being honest and real. That was nasty work. Couldn't believe it. It was something crazy. And the real crazy part about it was the Bulls were on an 11-game losing streak. And they broke it. And they were on their way to go on a 12-game losing streak. And now I know Giannis wasn't playing, but still, man, this is bad, man. This is really bad for them. The Bucks probably need to obviously trade Giannis in the offseason, and then they need to build that roster back up. They need to go younger, get as many draft picks and redo it. They need to rebuild that team bad, man, for sure. The Timberwolves, they end up beating the Nuggets. That was a real good game too, right? The Nuggets and Timberwolves were battling out. Timberwolves started pulling away a little bit, making some big key shots down the stretch. Edwards made a lot of plays, and stuff like that. The Grizzlies end up beating the Pacers 125-106. The Trailblazers end up losing again. They got blown out this time 135 to 101. Nasty work. The Hawks dominated in that game from start to finish. The Pistons were in a tight battle with the Magic, but then they pulled away and the win of 106-92. They have the best record in the NBA. Been legendary for the Pistons. Came back to life, having one of the best years since freaking they won the championship in 04. So flat out greatness right there. Flat out greatness. Thunder ended up beating the Mavericks 101-187. That was a tight game at first. The Thunder started pulling away a little bit. The Clippers ended up beating the Pelicans 137-117. Ended up beating them. Real good game by them. I think Zion got hurt in this game. If I'm not mistaken, I think he played against the Clippers. If I'm not mistaken, I think he played against those Clippers. For sure. Trying to think. I think he did. And the Clippers were on a 3-game losing streak too, by the way. The Clippers were on a 3-game losing streak. They struggled. But then they end up getting, yeah, he didn't play in this game. I think he got hurt the last game, Zion Williamson. So, broke the streak up. I think he had 33, 34 games straight. Um, so he was playing and he was getting healthier. Yeah, they were on the Clippers needed that win bad. They were on a 3-game lose streak. And the Lakers, they've been on a 2-game winning streak after losing the last two to tough games too. They lost to the Suns, blew I think a big lead there, and then the Magic they lost to as well down the stretch in the clutch as well. So the Lakers ended up beating the Kings 120 to 104, two big time blowouts that they needed. So that was some great stuff. Tonight it's gonna be a fun night, man. NBA TV. It's gonna be a great one. Also the Celtics, another thing on Sunday, the Celtics ended up beating the 76ers 114 to 98 on NBC. That was a fun game too. No, Jaylen Brown should be in the MVP discussion along with Kate Cunningham. I think those two need to be in the top 5. I could understand them winning the MVP. I think they're gonna give it to either Jokic or Shea if they make the game minimum. But in my opinion, it should be Cade or Jaylen Brown. I think they were not expected to be where they were at, and they're 1-2 in the Eastern Conference. Cade Cunningham, he is leading the team that has the number 1 record in the East in the entire NBA, and Jaylen Brown is leading the Celtics. They're the 2nd seed in the East, and without Jason Tatum, so he should. I think those would be my 2 front runners for MVP. That's just my opinion on that. But Monday is gonna be fun. It's gonna be a real good one, and I'm telling you, Tuesday is gonna be fun too. Okay, those 2 days, man, NBA basketball is gonna be really, really fun. Okay, the Rockets on Monday they play against the Wizards. The Celtics they play against the Bucks. They're 26 and 33. They still are around that 10th, 9th seed. The Bucks are, so they're trying to make sure they stay in that area. The Celtics are the 2nd seed. They're trying to stay there in that area as well. The Nuggets need to win against the Jazz. They need to find a way to get this win bad. On NBC, the Clippers play the Warriors. That's a big game for both teams. Big game for both teams on NBC, CNN/Peacock. That's a big one. Okay, they both need that win bad. They both need that win really bad. And then on Tuesday, the Heat play the Nets. The Knicks play the Raptors. That's a big one too at 7:30 in Toronto. The Spurs and the 76ers. This is going to be a fun one too. This is going to be a big one too. I can't wait for this one. I remember Joel Embiid dominating, in that paint against Wemby, I think. And I also remember Joel Embiid dominating some real great players at big men. So I can't wait to see how that goes, and I'm pretty excited about that. The Bulls play the Thunder as well. The Grizzlies play the Timberwolves. And then the Lakers play the Pelicans. So the Lakers have a chance to go 37 and 24. And then they can see where the Nuggets land if they lose. We'll see how that goes. And then the Suns have a chance to beat the Kings. They're 34 and 26. That's all on Tuesday. And then other games, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday. We'll definitely talk about those. That's going to be fun. I can't wait. It's going to be exciting stuff when it comes down to it. Cannot wait for it. It's going to be fun in the NBA and college basketball, man. Let me tell you something. Another legendary weekend of college basketball. I mean, it was unbelievable fun from start to finish. Duke destroyed Virginia from start to finish, man. Cameron Boozer is a monster. Cam Boozer's son, who played in the NBA. Carlos Boozer's son, who played in the NBA. Flat out monster, especially with Darren Williams in that mid-range game. Flat out legendary. He's balling right now. He has a chance to be better than his dad, and his dad was a beast in the NBA. So he has a chance to be better than his dad. That's going to be crazy. But Duke dominated Virginia from top to bottom. Cameron Boozer is the number 1. He's going to win the Player of the Year. I really believe that. He might have solidified that after Michigan game, but he definitely did his thing here and really almost solidified it. But yeah, I'm pretty excited. He's going to be a top 3 pick wherever he goes. Top 3, top 5. I think he's going to be 3rd at worst. He could be number 1 at best, 3rd at worst. That's how good he is for sure. Houston beat Colorado, destroyed them, manhandled them, 102-62, manhandled. They were on a 3-game losing streak to 3 tough, great top 15 teams. They came back, took it out on the woodshed and beat them, and destroyed them bad, man. I feel bad for Colorado because Houston was so great that They lost 3 games to ranked teams. They said we got to get a win, and they got that win real good. Okay, UConn beat Seton Hall. That was a close game. Seton Hall gave them a scare. Gave UConn a scare. Put a lot of work in there, but UConn ended up getting that win. They did a good job getting that win. St. Joseph's beat Rhode Island. Okay, and there was another close game. Boston U was close with American. Notre Dame beat NC State, upset because NC State is having a real great year this year. And Notre Dame beat them. Penn State ended up upsetting Iowa. Big loss for Iowa right there. Big loss for them. Florida State ended up beating Georgia Tech as well. Army ended up losing to Lafayette. There were some crazy games, even with the smaller schools. But Missouri ended up blowing out Mississippi State, though. Blowing out Mississippi State. And then Xavier beat Georgetown. And then Clemson ended up getting a big upset win against Louisville, 80-75. Big win for Clemson. They needed that. And Louisville got to be careful. They lost to a real good Clemson team, but they might be outside the top 25, and you never know what happens after that, especially with how the bubble is, and you never know what's going to go down out there, man. Oklahoma State ended up getting blown out by Cincinnati, 91-68. Oregon almost beat Northwestern, but they lost by 1 point, 63-62. UCLA had a big loss against Minnesota. They did not need a loss like that, 78-73, especially when they are on the bubble. They're dancing around. They're in. I think according to, I think Joe Lunardi, I think they're an 11th seed or something like that. New Mexico, they beat San Diego State. That was a big win for New Mexico. New Mexico's been having a great year, by the way. And San Diego State's a good team, and that's a big win for New Mexico. Great win by them. Big win by them. Central Michigan beat Buffalo on the road by 5 points, 75-70. That was another good game. Vanderbilt got upset by Kentucky. Kentucky, from start to finish, really did a great job in that game. Fantastic job in that game. Did some great stuff, masterful stuff in that game. So that was good stuff. Texas Tech on the road. This is how good Texas Tech. This is without JT Toppin, I believe. They ended up winning the game against Iowa State, top 4 team in the country. Texas Tech beat them 82-73. They have another big win against Arizona, too. So they've been really great. Nebraska beat USC. USC definitely needed that win on the road, but they ended up losing to Nebraska 82-76. Wisconsin got a big win that they needed against Washington after losing Ohio State, too. At home, I believe. Or no, on the road. I think Ohio State was at home. Pitt ended up beating California 72-56. Toledo beat Ohio 79-67. I said it even too. The MAC is a real good conference, so that's a real great conference right there. Arizona got they payback against Kansas though. They paid back against Kansas was swift and beautiful. According to Arizona fans, but Kansas fans probably pissed. It was 84-61. Okay, Arizona ended up winning the game 84-61, big time beatdown. Texas ended up beating Texas A&M in a rivalry game 76-70. That was a real good game right there too. Stephen F. Austin beat Holy Christian 77-56. They're having a great year. They're historically one of those teams where when they get into the tournament, it could be upset city. So that team is in good position. West Virginia beat BYU, another upset. Loss for BYU, man. They losing to some teams that we're shocked that they're losing to right now. And that's really unbelievable. Syracuse ended up losing to Wake Forest 88-83. SMU lost to Stanford 95-75. Got beat down and whooped. That's just the truth. Oklahoma beat LSU. Okay, 83-67. This all Saturday, man. Saturday was a wild one. Liberty beat Jackson State. And then Alabama pulled out a big win against Tennessee, the ranked 22 Tennessee Volunteers on the road. Alabama on the road came into Tennessee and beat them 71-69. Real good stuff that Alabama did right there. St. John's ended up beating Villanova 89-57. Beatdown of beatdowns. St. Louis ended up winning against the Quizny. Sorry about that. Pronounced it wrong. They beat them. St. Louis beat them. Ranked 23. St. Clara beat Oregon State. They've been on fire. They've been on fire this year. They're one of the first 4 in. So I can't. The way they're playing, if they get into the Final Four, because I think they're the 3rd team in the conference with Gonzaga and St. Mary's. So if they get to the top 3, and even they'll probably most likely be in the tournament. They could win their tournament too. The WCC. Pepperdine ended up beating Washington State. Washington State's been having a rough year, if I'm not mistaken. They've been going through it a little bit. UCF ended up losing by 1 point at home to a really good Baylor team, solid Baylor team. Boise State beat Fresno State. Needed that win bad for them. Arkansas ended up losing to Florida, getting destroyed 111-77. That's a nasty work. That's a big time beatdown of all beatdown. And then North Carolina pulled away in a close game against Virginia Tech, 89-82. Ole Miss ended up beating Auburn. Auburn's going to be in trouble. They will mess around and not make the tournament. I think they have like 14 losses. UNLV beat Nevada in final OT, and then Utah State beat Grand Canyon. Utah State's been great. Now, St. Mary, let me tell you something. This was a big upset win. St. Mary's ended up getting a big win against Gonzaga. They needed this win. St. Mary's beat Gonzaga 70-59. UC Irvine beat Santa Barbara. Now, that St. Mary's game is important. And Santa Clara, I think, still have opportunities too. I think they play Gonzaga and St. Mary's one more time. But that's a big win for St. Mary's. They tied that season series, and they still have a chance to win the WCC. Big win, because I think those three teams can make the tournament. St. Mary's and Gonzaga is going to make it. And if Santa Clara beats one, if not both of those teams in the regular season, if I'm not mistaken, I think they play them. But if they beat them in the tournament, even if they win the WCC tournament, all three of them is definitely going to make it by that time. They're all going to make it by that time. Sunday was crazy good too. Davidson beat LaSalle. South Florida dominated Tulane. I think they end up winning the conference. I think they're going to be number one. North Texas beat UAB 62-58. The Rutgers beat Maryland. Okay. Now here was a big upset win. Let me tell you something. Ohio State found a way, because they had their season was on the line this game. And they ended up winning 82-74 against the number 18 Purdue. And if they win the next two games, go 20-11, they might end up making the tournament. That's how close. That's how really good it is. But you gotta be careful, because some teams can steal bids. They can steal bids, so you gotta watch out for the bid stealers. And Ohio State, there's some other teams you gotta be careful for. Some teams will get knocked out if they steal bids out there. Rice ended up beating Temple 80-74 on Sunday. Okay, and then FAU beat Charlotte by 1 point in final OT. Okay, Memphis have had a really rough year this year. They lost to East Carolina. They've had a rough year this year. Drake ended up losing to Northern Iowa 75-53, got whooped down. And then Indiana needed a win against Michigan State, but they lost 77-64. Belmont got upsetted by Illinois State. They needed that win, though, against Belmont. And Charleston ended up beating UNC Wilmington. I think UNC Wilmington's having a great year, too. And Wichita State ended up beating UTSA. Now, let me tell you something. There was another shocking thing. I think a player, small forward, their leading scorer for USC, ended up, he's not on the team no more for USC. It was so crazy because, it was weird because I saw a video where he got hurt, I think, went to the locker room, came back, and he basically sat in the stands. He didn't sit with the team. I didn't know he was going to be done after that. But again, craziness, right? Unbelievable wildness. But so we'll see how it goes, and we'll see how it goes down, man. We'll see how it goes down. But Monday, we got Duke versus NC State on ESPN. That's going to be fun at 7 p.m. That's going to be a real fun time. Okay? Real fun time right there. I think there's a league championship playing, a Horizon League, Cleveland State and IU Indies playing tonight on ESPN Plus when it comes to that. Stephen F. Austin, man, they're 26-4. They've been fantastic. Like I told you, they're upset type specialists. They've been doing it before. They play Insernate Word. Some of the names are kind of crazy. McNeese, 25-5, having a great year. 7:30 p.m. They play Nicholas. So Monday's there's gonna be some heck of North Colorado plays Montana. You know what I'm saying? Iowa State is trying to get a big win, but Arizona is 27-2, and they play tonight too. That's gonna be a fun one too. And then Tuesday, it's gonna be. I think it's gonna be some stuff Tuesday. 2 good games Tuesday. Tennessee playing South Carolina. I think in the Sun Belt Championship first round. Okay, Louisiana plays Georgia State. They're both 10-21. UMBC is 20-8. They play NJIT. UMBC, they were a 16 seed, I believe. They beat Virginia a few years ago. That was the first 16 seed to win against a 1 seed. So they could come into a tournament. maybe win their tournament, win their conference, win the conference championship, mess around, and you never know what happens after that right there. Alabama and Georgia, big upset game. Uh, big game right there. Georgia can upset Alabama, get them on ESPN News, beat them in Georgia, and have a chance to be ranked, have a chance to be in there. I think they're dancing around there. You never know how that's going to go, so they might be dancing around a little bit when it comes to the bubble. And in Texas Tech, they play TCU. TCU's 19-10. They have a chance to go into Texas Tech and have a big win against them. And Texas Tech's really high of getting some wins recently, man, some big wins. Virginia plays Wake Forest. They're 25-4, back on it. Clemson, they have a chance on ESPN to play North Carolina on Tuesday and beat them. They have a good chance to go into North Carolina and beat them. St. John's has been fantastic this year. They play Georgetown. Okay, Miami, Ohio is going in undefeated. They're ranked 19. They play against Toledo. Cannot wait to see how that goes. It's pretty interesting. I can't wait for that. George Mason is playing VCU. Both teams are having great years. Both 22-7. Can't wait to see that. Dayton and Richmond, they play. Dayton's 20-9. Dayton's been really good too. Seton Hall and Xavier, they play against each other. UCF, they're trying to get a big win at home against Oklahoma State, who's 17-12. So those are some good. Akron's been great too, 24-5. Okay, 24-5. That's been a great game as well. UNC Williamson, they got upsetted, I think, on Saturday, if I'm not mistaken. Or no, Sunday. So they get to play on Tuesday and try to get their revenge. Try to get their revenge against Elon. That's how you pronounce it, Elon. I was trying to make sure I pronounced it right. I'm sorry, some of the names are wild. Drexel plays Hofstra. Hofstra's been really good, 20-10. They've been solid so far. Kentucky and Texas A&M plays on ESPN2. Missouri and Oklahoma plays. There's a lot of games on Tuesday too. Florida plays in Mississippi State. In the Horizon League first round, Purdue FW plays Green Bay. They're both 17-14. West Virginia, they play Kansas State. West Virginia has got a few wins under their belt too. Kent State's been great this year. They're 21-8. They played North Illinois. Oregon, they play Illinois on Peacock. Kansas plays Arizona State. Vanderbilt plays Ole Miss as well. BYU needs a win. They're unranked now, officially. They play against Cincinnati. They're on the road. They need to find a way to get a win. And Boise State and San Diego State are in big time needs of wins to try to get into the NCAA tournament. San Diego State's 19-9. Boise State's 18-11. Okay. Louisville needs this win against Syracuse. Louisville's 20-9 and Syracuse is 15-14. Louisville needs it. They don't want to play around when it comes to the committee and all that type of stuff. Grand Canyon's 18-11. They need a win against Air Force, who's 3-26. Nevada is 19-10, playing against Wyoming, who's 16-13. Auburn needs this win bad, and they might need to borderline win the SEC championship game. They play LSU. They're both 15-14. But Auburn is being saved too because they played the number one strength of schedule, and Bruce Pearl did leave before the season started, like at least 2 months before, at the very minimum, if not maybe 1 month before. But I'm telling you, man, it was crazy. So I'm pretty excited to see how Auburn plays, especially in the SEC tournament. They need these wins bad. UCLA, who's 19-10, they need this win against Nebraska. If they can get to 20-10 and beat Nebraska, upset them in California, that's gonna be interesting. And then UNLV, 15-14, they play Utah State. Utah State's been amazing, and they're trying to go 25-5. So overall, there's gonna be a lot of great games coming on these next few games. Championship is happening. Championship games are coming up too. Gonna be talking about those, like Sun Belt championships. The ASUN championship first rounds. All this stuff. These tournaments are coming, and it's gonna be fun. Okay, it's gonna be fun, man. It's gonna be fun. I mean, all week it's gonna be craziness. Okay, I cannot wait. All right, it's gonna be fun. It's gonna be exciting. It's gonna be a great time. I'm pretty excited, man. I'm telling y'all, it's gonna be fun. Okay, watch the games. I'm gonna try to watch them. I know I've been working, but I'm gonna try to watch them, man. I'm gonna try to figure this stuff out, man. I'm gonna watch them while I ain't supposed to be watching while I'm driving. I might have to sneak around and watch them while I'm driving. You know what I'm saying? Well, my job, man. But overall, it's been fun. The channel has been. I like it. I know it's only been a few subscribers overall, but I appreciate the few subscribers I have. I really do appreciate y'all. Definitely want to do different things on the channel. Obviously, talk about different sports. Travel, do food reviews, things of that nature. Man, I want to do a lot of different things. React to different things, react to different situations, or really tell stories. Tell us mostly. Report stories and you know, um, talk about what's going on. Even court cases. I've watched a lot of court cases and stuff like that, of different things men and women do some wild stuff. So, react to different cases. Um, and react to different videos. I want to get into that this year for sure. So that's the goal. To do different things on this channel, man, and have a good time. I appreciate y'all, man. Keep rocking with me. If you like the channel, again, hit the subscribe button. If you like the videos, hit the like button on all the videos I've done so far. And please hit the bell notification when I post and upload a new video. I appreciate y'all and have a good one. Peace.